Okay, so you know how we're constantly told that the key to innovation these days is to look outside?
Oh, absolutely. Open innovation, collaboration,
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
right. Tapping into external wisdom, it feels like the mantra. Have you ever felt that pressure, that pull to constantly be seeking external knowledge? Like if you're not, you're somehow falling behind.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the default advice.
And look, it makes a lot of sense in our hyper-connected world. I get that. But it also brings up this really interesting question, doesn't it?
Mm.
In this era of, radical openness, is pouring money and resources into internal R&D the traditional way still necessary?
Mm.
Or even maybe smart?
Right, is it becoming obsolete?
Exactly, as it feels like the old assumptions about innovation are really being challenged right now.
Well, that's precisely what this fantastic study tackled. It's by Joanna Costa, Caterina Gomes, and Marcelo Augusto Linardi, published in Innovation Organization and Management. And it's incredibly timely, very data-rich. They didn't just, theorize. They actually analyzed a huge data set, over 13,500 Portuguese firms from the Community Innovation Survey.
Wow, that's a serious data set.
It is. And what they found uh, might just make us rethink some things.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Their research points to this powerful, maybe even slightly counterintuitive idea. Forget thinking innovation is only about looking outwards.
Right.
Turns out, the secret weapon for making all that external collaboration actually work effectively might be hiding right inside your own company.
So internal R&D isn't dead.
Far from it. Picture it like this. Internal R&D isn't just part of the innovation engine. It acts more like a supercharger for all those external ideas you bring in. The powerful amplifier.
A supercharger. I like that. Okay, let's unpack this then. This deep dive is going to explore what this really means, for organizations, for teams, maybe even for individuals trying to innovate.
Yeah, how do we actually use this insight?
Exactly. We want to offer a fresh perspective, maybe a more nuanced one, on balancing our own internal strength with all that exciting external stuff happening.
Sounds great.
So let's dive straight into that first key idea. Internal R&D as this powerful amplifier for open innovation. An amplifier boosts the signal, right? It doesn't create it initially.
That's a good way to think about it.
So how does that actually work in practice? What's happening inside a company that makes internal R&D such a crucial booster?
Well, fundamentally, it boils down to capacity. The study shows pretty clearly that having a strong internal R&D base helps firms do a few critical things much better.
Like what?
Okay, so first, it helps them evaluate all that incoming external knowledge. Is this idea actually good? Is it relevant?
Right, sort through the noise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then, it helps them assimilate it, to really understand it, internalize it, see how it fits, and finally, to apply it effectively within their own specific context.
Oh, okay.
Think of it maybe like having a really good internal digestive system for external information.
I like that analogy.
Without that strong internal structure, that kind of internal scaffolding, even brilliant external ideas or, promising partnerships you set up, they might just fall flat.
They just pass through without sticking.
Yeah, or you can't actually make them work. They don't yield real results because the company doesn't have the internal machinery
Yeah,
to integrate and leverage them properly.
that makes so much sense. So it's not just about collecting shiny objects from outside. You need the internal factory to actually do something with them.
Precisely.
And speaking of limits and leverage, the paper brings up something really fascinating called the openness paradox.
Ah, yes, the paradigm.
Have you ever felt that? Personally or professionally, like maybe you're overwhelmed by too much information or just juggling too many connections, or adding more actually starts to feel like less progress.
Oh, absolutely. Information overload is real. And that's essentially the openness paradox the study highlights.
Okay, tell me more.
So, while being open definitely boosts innovation, there seems to be a threshold, a tipping point.
Oh.
Go beyond that point. And adding more openness, more external links can actually lead to diminishing returns, sometimes even negative returns.
Negative.
Well, think about it. If a company tries to manage too many partnerships, or if it simply lacks that strong internal capacity, that digestive system we talked about,
Yeah,
to absorb and integrate everything coming in,
yeah.
the whole innovation effort can just become fragmented, scattered. People get pulled in too many directions. It becomes unfocused and ultimately really inefficient.
Like trying to listen to 5 radio stations at once.
Exactly. It's just noise.
Yeah.
So the study suggests you need a strategic, a collective, kind of intentional approach to your external collaborations.
Not just opening the floodgates.
Right. It has to be aligned with the firm's actual absorptive capacity, its ability to handle and use the information.
That's such a crucial point. It's not about being open versus closed, but being smart about how open you are and where, which really reinforces that idea we were just discussing, internal and external knowledge sources. They shouldn't be seen as like competitors fighting for resources.
No, not at all.
It's not either. It's truly a boat hand, like different instruments in an orchestra.
That's a perfect analogy. A symphony, not a solo. And interestingly, the study finds that the way this both hand plays out can differ.
How so?
Well, factors like company size and the industry sector they're in really matter.
Okay.
For instance, they found that smaller firms, and also firms in highly tech-intensive sectors, often get the biggest bang for their buck from combining strong internal R&D with external collaboration.
Oh, interesting. Why smaller firms particularly?
Well, smaller firms are often more agile, right? Less bureaucracy. So they can potentially respond much faster when they absorb new insights from outside. They can pivot, adapt their innovation strategy more quickly.
If they have that internal capacity to understand and act on it.
Exactly. The internal R&D gives them the foundation, and their agility lets them capitalize on external knowledge quickly.
Got it. That leads us neatly into another really critical piece of this puzzle, which the study emphasizes: the vital role of human capital.
Ah, the people, yes.
When you think about the most crucial resource for innovation, what immediately comes to mind for you? Is it the tech, the funding, or...
Honestly,
Hmm.
based on this research and, frankly, a lot of experience,
Mhm.
it's the people, hands down.
The study backs that up strongly.
Absolutely. It makes it crystal clear.
Hmm.
Firms that have highly educated, skilled, experienced employees,
Mm-hmm.
they consistently perform better on innovation metrics.
Okay.
And this effect is even stronger when that talent is concentrated within robust internal R&D units.
So it's not just having smart people anywhere, but having them focused internally on R&D.
That seems to be a key part of it, because these skilled employees, they don't just generate their own new ideas. They're also the ones who boost the firm's entire capacity to absorb, evaluate, and then effectively use that external knowledge we've been talking about.
They're like the translators and integrators.
Precisely. It really underscores that investing in your workforce and their skills and development is just as critical, maybe even more critical, than just buying the latest technology.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. People are the engine. Okay, and there's one more factor the study flagged as important: international exposure.
Right, going global.
How does that play into this? Having a global mindset, or actually operating in international markets, how does that impact a company's innovation performance?
It seems to be a significant accelerator. The data showed that companies active in export markets, or those operating in broader global contexts, they consistently do better on innovation outcomes compared to purely domestic firms.
Why is that, do you think?
Well, it's likely a combination of things: exposure to diverse ideas, completely different customer needs, varied regulatory landscapes, tougher or just different competitive dynamics.
It's a richer learning environment.
Exactly. It provides this constant, rich stream of potential innovation triggers. And crucially, these globally active firms also tend to already possess stronger internal capabilities.
Ah, so it connects back again.
It does. That stronger internal base allows them to more effectively assimilate and apply all that diverse external knowledge they encounter through their international activities.
This is all painting a really interconnected picture. Okay, let's pull back a bit. If we take all these findings together, what does this mean for the big picture? For, say, government policy decisions around innovation?
Yeah, the policy implications are pretty profound, actually.
That's all.
Well, think about it. A lot of current innovation policies, quite rightly, put a lot of emphasis on encouraging external collaboration, networks, clusters.
Which is important, as the study acknowledges.
Absolutely. But this research argues really strongly that we also need sustained investment in building internal innovation capacities within firms. It's not enough to just connect firms. They need the internal strength to benefit from those connections.
So policymakers need a dual focus.
Exactly. They should aim to create frameworks that support both things: robust internal R&D environments and strategic external partnerships.
What might that look like in practice?
Several things. Maybe more targeted funding specifically for internal R&D projects, supporting employee training programs focused on building those absorptive skills, tax incentives geared towards internal innovation work, maybe even initiatives directly aimed at boosting firms' general capabilities to digest and use external knowledge effectively.
Okay, that makes sense on the policy side. Now, what about for managers? People actually running businesses or teams, what are the practical, actionable takeaways for them?
Right, translating this into action. Well, first and foremost, managers should really view open innovation not as a replacement for their internal R&D efforts, but as a genuinely complementary strategy.
The both hand again.
The both hand. And critically, those innovation networks, the partnerships they build,
Yeah.
they need to be strategically designed.
How do you mean?
They should be carefully chosen and aligned with the organization's actual needs and internal capabilities, rather than just, collecting partners for the sake of saying you have a large network, quality over quantity.
Less FOMO, more focus.
You could say that. And finally, companies absolutely need to invest in building robust internal capabilities. And that's not just about technical skills like engineering or science.
What else?
It also includes crucial skills in areas like project management, knowledge integration across different teams, fostering strong cross-functional collaboration. All the stuff that's essential to actually maximize the benefits you get from any external partnership.
It's like building the internal muscles needed to actually lift and use the external ideas.
That's a great way to put it, building those internal muscles.
So if we boil it all down, the central finding here seems crystal clear. Internal R&D is far from obsolete. It's not just hanging on, it's actually highly relevant, maybe even more relevant in this age of openness, especially when it's smartly woven into a broader open innovation strategy. It's not about picking one path over the other, is it?
Not at all.
It's about finding that sweet spot, that perfect blend between what you develop internally and what you bring in from the outside.
Precisely. And the firms that manage to achieve that right balance, the ones that harmonize their internal strengths with meaningful strategic external collaborations, they are genuinely poised for the best innovation outcomes. That seems to be where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
So for policymakers, for managers, the message from this research seems unequivocal, really. True. Sustainable innovation doesn't just spring from networks and external links alone.
It also comes from.
It also, and just as powerfully, emerges from the internal processes, the skilled people, and the innovative cultures that are nurtured within organizations themselves.
A powerful reminder not to neglect the home front while looking outward.
Indeed.
So, as we wrap up, here's something maybe for you to think about. How might you personally, or perhaps your organization, adjust your approach to learning and innovation? What if you started viewing internal development and external collaboration not as competitors, but truly as two complementary, powerful sides of the very same innovation coin? What would that ideal balance look like for you?